What's up, guys? Welcome to week 4 in our Lenten season. Every single week we've been reflecting across a different theme in relation to hope across this Lent, and today's no different. Today we're talking about hope rekindled. I want to touch upon this coming Sunday, which is a special Sunday for us as a church. It's called Laetare Sunday or Rejoice Sunday. And I want to just pause for a second and reflect upon the way that God has been working through us across Lent today. Let's get into it. So if you've been journeying across Lent this season, you've really been participating and engaging in this Lenten season, then you would have experienced a bunch of different things across the past few weeks. The first couple of days in Lent are always going to be, like the first 2 or 3 days, super solid. Like, God, we're working to you, no sacrifice that I do is going to be able to overcome the sacrifice that you've given to me. And everything is I don't want to say easy, but you've got that strength, you've got that fortitude, you've got that chutzpah at the beginning of this Lenten season to get going into it, And you can last through the fast, and you can do whatever you need to make those first few days work. And it's a really exciting time. Then after that motivation almost dies, and we start to really rely on discipline. And that's when the graft really starts. That's when it becomes more of a difficult decision. You have to actually decide to continue in your Lenten sacrifice or prayer or almsgiving, whatever it is. And so now things become a little bit more of a reality. And now we're 4 weeks into Lent. And I think Lent's become a new normal, at least for me. And I don't know if it's the same thing for you. But what I'm starting to feel is I'm starting to actually see some of the benefits of Lent at this point, in a bunch of small different ways. It's almost as if we are still in the desert, but we're starting to see these little green shoots. And I hope that that's the experience that you're having. And that's something that the church actually acknowledges and recognizes. And that's why we have this coming Sunday, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Laetare Sunday, or Rejoice Sunday. Now is the time where we get to pause for a second, reflect on the way that God's been working through us across Lent to date. And we get to rejoice for that. We get to celebrate and honor that God is working, that hope does matter. Hope does not disappoint, and the hope that we've been placing in God may start to emerge and result in something. And if you don't agree with me, if you're struggling to see what I'm talking about now, I actually encourage you just to pause for a second. Think about where you were at the beginning of Lent, and think about where you are right now. Perhaps the vice or the addiction or the whatever that it was that I was trying to overcome hasn't necessarily been overcome, or I haven't conquered this, or potentially often I've fallen in my Lenten sacrifice. But it's the small things. It's the small things that God's been working on within us. Potentially you find yourself in a place where it's easier to pray a little bit more. You can pray for a little bit longer. You're not as quick to being angry or frustrated or whatever as you previously were. You can look at the chocolate and you can say no for a second, a moment, a day longer than you previously could have. And though these things may not necessarily be the end goal that we have in mind for ourselves, they are still small victories, and they are still proof that hope does not disappoint. God is working through us in these moments, and we are starting, at least for me, and I hope it is the same thing for you, I am starting to see His grace come about and improve within me. If you can look at yourself now and you can say that God has worked on you across this Lenten season, and you have seen progress, then you know that this is the reality of what God and hoping in God will bring about. Not necessarily the final goal or the finished product. We are not perfect, and we never will be. But God works on us little by little. So it's almost to say that He smooths out these rough edges bit by bit. Before, at the end of our lifetimes, hopefully, we are the diamond worthy of entering into heaven. Hope does not disappoint, and that's what the church celebrates this weekend. If we follow God for long enough, we start to see the way that He's working in our lives. And so I encourage you, take a second. Think about where you were at the beginning of Lent, and I truly hope that you can see progress as of where you are right now. Maybe prayer is a little bit more natural for you. Maybe you aren't so daunted by the idea of praying. Maybe you aren't so dependent on, sugar in your tea. Maybe you can see that, God is what you really need to rely on. And all of these things that we've built up as these idols that we can't overcome, or these things that we can't do away with, or these things that we rely upon, are not necessarily as powerful as we thought they were, or they don't have that hold on us in the way that we thought that they did. I truly hope that you're starting to see that hope does not disappoint. More importantly, God does not disappoint. And little by little, we are journeying together towards both the difficulty and the sacrifice of Good Friday, but more importantly, the glorification of God as God glorifies us in our lives, as at Easter Sunday. Know that I'm praying for you guys. I hope that across this week you can continue in this Lenten journey. I hope that you seeing these good things feel invigorated and re-energized and more motivated to continue striving, continue pursuing God in this Lenten season, continue letting Him show you that He will not disappoint us, that hope does not disappoint us. God bless you guys. Know that I'm praying for you. Please can you subscribe to the channel, share this with everyone who you think needs to hear this message today. Guys, I'm praying for you. I hope that you are enjoying this Lenten season, and we will see you guys soon. God bless. Ciao. Fortunately, due to budget cuts, we've had to change the microphone stand. Yes. And the way that this gets fixed is if you subscribe to the channel. Yes.
Okay, cool. So Marco, today's show's chuckle is, why is Lent the best period to run a marathon?
Why?
Because everybody's fast.
Oh, wow.
I get it, because you're fasting.
I, again, apologize for putting you through that.
Really good, though.